Beckman Unleashed podcast 23. We have a treat for you today.
We are live.
We're live. I have a treat for you guys. I'm going to do what I'm calling the dog trainer pyramid. And the goal is for you to be able to navigate the world of social media dog trainers or any dog trainers and know if they are capable of helping you with your dog. And I'm going to explain it very clearly. We're going to bring up a graphic in a minute, and I'm going to explain everything that I'm going to go through. And by the end of this, if they have questions, I would doubt there's any questions. I feel like I have this pretty well in my mind, and through this graphic that you're going to walk away from this and go, oh, I understand why my favorite dog trainer or my social media dog trainer, that TikTok dog trainer does this and doesn't do this. And some questions hopefully will be answered for you about the people that you follow and if you should listen to them or not listen to them and what their motivations are.
So I'm excited. I've seen it, but I haven't read what you actually are saying. So I'm excited to hear what you have. I think it was podcast number 20 where you kind of mentioned it, right? And then we figured let's just do it on the pod.
Yes. And so we're doing it today. And you actually came up with the last tip of the pyramid.
Oh, during that podcast.
Yeah. You mentioned the last tip, which
of the spear
is a little different than the others. So we're going to bring it up right now.
Okay. So
and this is my terrible handwriting, and I'm going to explain it to you. I hope you can see it. If you can't, I'm going to explain everything.
All right. Let's see if we can share. We're going to have to slide in here to do that. Can you see that okay?
Yeah.
All right. So for those at home, you'll have to explain a little bit.
They can't see you.
That's okay. Just explain or just walk them through it in case they're listening on the audio version of the podcast.
Oh, yeah. Thank you. All right. This is my dog trainer pyramid. It's kind of a social media dog trainer pyramid. I'm going to go through all the different types of trainers and why they do what they do and why they, more importantly, kind of don't do what they do. All right, guys. There's the pyramid right there. At the bottom, you have the dog trainer talkers. They call themselves dog trainers, right? They do a lot of talking on their social media channel, or all talking in this case. And they do reaction videos. So they take other people's videos and they talk about them, right? These are all supposed dog trainers, right? Okay. So there's those people. There's the people on social media who train and show you their own dog. All right. That's nice. Okay. You go up, you have the people on social media, the dog trainers on social media who train other people's dogs, including puppies, basic obedience, tricks, and problem behaviors. That's nice. Then you have, as you get closer to the top, people, dog trainers on social media who train other people's aggressive dogs. I'm not going to get into, I'm going to break these down. Then at the top, Eric's suggestion from the podcast was the dog trainers who have trained their own dog to train other people's dogs. All right. Now, you might be wondering how this works. You see at the bottom, it says, as you go up this pyramid, you become more useful to dogs, more useful to people, and more useful and helpful to society.
Wait a minute.
Yes.
Sorry. You're saying that the people that are the talkers that just do reaction videos and talk the whole time, you're saying they're not as valuable as the people at the top?
That's exactly what I'm saying. That's exactly what and listen, Crazy. The top was Eric's idea, and I liked the idea, but it is a little bit different. And I'm going to get into why the top is different. I didn't put the people who use their own dog to train their dogs on top. It was Eric's suggestion, and it's a good one, but it's a little different than the other one. So kind of take that out for a minute, the very top of that.
It's kind of nice that it puts kind of Beckman dog training at the very top of the pyramid.
Yeah, which was not my idea. Go back to podcast 20. It's your idea. And I thought it was next level. Right. It was next level dog training, but it's a little different. Okay, that top of that pyramid. Really, we all fall somewhere below that top. Okay, below that top little portion there. All right, so the people at the bottom, or the bottom rung, and then the next, they don't go to the next rung or the next part of the pyramid. This is very important what I'm going to tell you right now. Okay. Very important. They're not the people who are in the talkers. They don't show you their personal dog because they can't show you their personal dog. Okay.
But if they did show you their personal dog, they would
be rewarded.
Jump up to the next level.
Absolutely. They're at the next level. So you have to ask yourself, why do the talkers not show you their personal dog? Well, they might say a lot of reasons why, but I'll tell you the reason why. Because they can't. Because they don't have a well-trained dog. Because you're going to get rewarded every rung you go up. You're going to get rewarded. Why did they become a dog trainer? Mainly to help dogs, to be around dogs, to help people. They didn't do it for making a bunch of money. They didn't do it for stability in a career. They did it because they want to help. Well, you help every rung you go up. You help. When you go from other people's dogs to aggressive dogs, you're helping society and dogs and people 10x what you were the rung before. So most people got in for that. They're helping more dogs as they go up. So you have to ask yourself, why wouldn't the bottom people to the next or the next to the next, why wouldn't they move up? There is literally one reason why they wouldn't move up. There's some little, oh, well, the next rung is dangerous. I get all that. But it's dangerous to walk out of your house. Like you don't do that because you can't do that. That's what we have to assume and what is true. I promise you that's true. I promise
push back
you.
A little bit.
Yeah.
Okay, so talkers. I understand what that means. And then also reaction video people. So they're essentially bringing up, for instance, yours. Like there's some TikTok people that use your videos and then
and YouTube people
correct you. Just like, also people in the comments would be this too, where they say, oh, Joel, you really need to step your game up, right? Where they're literally just talking.
Well, the commenters on the channel, don't matter.
That's
not what we're talking about here. We're not talking about commenters.
But I mean, when somebody's like genuinely instructing you on how to improve your techniques as Joel Beckman, they're kind of becoming, they're espousing dog trained skills.
Yes, but that's fine. They're a commenter. They're not dog
I'll
trainer.
let you slide with that.
They're bankers and they're whoever they are, unemployed people. They're not dog trainers.
Okay.
All right. So there are people that you're going to find on YouTube. Let's just use YouTube, but all of them who are they're going to talk into a mic with no dog, not even their own dog. And they're going to do reaction videos. Now, if you go on their channel and you see them with their own dog, they're not in the talker category.
They moved up.
They moved up. And so they don't do a lot. They're still kind of in the personal dog. They show you their personal dog. Okay. They move up and there might be people who have trophies behind them and they do a lot of talking. I could care less about your trophies. Let me see the videos of your dog winning awards, of your dog doing behaviors to win awards. I don't care about your trophies.
What if talkers just don't even have a dog?
Why don't you have a dog?
So are you saying no dog trainer?
If you're in between dogs, I was 2 years without a dog.
So you wouldn't have fallen into that category.
But you could go on my channel and you could see my first dog.
So you had a personal dog.
No, there was 2 years I didn't have one.
Yeah, but you still had a personal dog.
I was already jumped up to other people's aggressive dogs.
Yeah,
it was on my channel. So, by the way,
you could see it.
I get all worked up. By the way. Oh.
There you go.
Okay.
To go the wrong way.
Okay, so if you are at this rung, you automatically are included in all this. So the higher you go up, you can do all those other things.
Yeah.
So the aggressive people who train aggressive dogs can talk about dog training. People who train aggressive dogs can train their personal dog, and most of them will show you their personal dog. People who do aggressive dog training can train a basic obedience. It ain't rocket science. Okay? Does that make sense? So as you go up, you don't go to the next rung for one very simple reason.
I think I know why.
Yeah.
Is it because you suck? Or no?
You're your thing. You're a talker.
So
but don't act like you can do these other things.
I want to do this. So
it's really hard.
Yeah, I'm pretty good at this. I want to go right into here. So they train their personal dog to other people's dogs.
Okay,
puppies.
I know. I'm standing at the bottom.
Obedience. What does that say?
Problem behaviors,
tricks, and stuff. Okay,
and then problem behaviors.
Yeah,
which is real and is not easy.
But I think that's a big jump because any goofball with a microphone and a camera like me, right, can go on with a dog, although I don't have a dog, but if I had a dog and I could be a talker and I could have a personal dog and I could show you my personal dog.
That's true.
And that's cool. I would be, in my opinion, I'd be considered an amateur.
A dog talker. Yeah.
You're an amateur though, right? Because you're not training other people's dogs for money, right? And so you do that.
You might be making money on social media. being a dog trainer and talking and training your dog.
You could, yeah, you could. But then when you take, there's a big leap, right, with their personal dog up to other people's dogs.
I would agree. And then there's as big of a leap from other people's dogs to other people's aggressive dogs. There's an equally big leap from 2 to 3 as there is from 3 to 4.
Well, let's tease out this personal dog to other people's dogs.
Okay.
Let's say I have a dog, Hobie, golden retriever was my dog. I understood that dog, right? Because it was my dog. I had him for 10 years, however many years. So that's not as difficult to do as I don't know your dog. Now I've got another dog.
It's a giant difference.
Yeah.
So you have to assume that the second rung, their personal dog, the reason they don't train other people's dogs is because what you just said, it is a giant leap of skill, and you have to think on the fly. You have to make the person happy whose dog you're training. There is a big jump from there to there. That's exactly right. And so you will be rewarded financially, usefulness to society, accolades on social media, more comment, more YouTube, and all these will as people like your stuff more, they will show it more. You will as you move up, everything good happens. There's no reason to stay in the rung below you. So zero reason.
So if we look at this jump into other people's dogs, I want to take another example, right? And I've never read this before.
Dog trainers.
But it would be like basketball, right? Maybe you talk about basketball. Now you play basketball.
Yes.
Maybe you have a son that plays basketball. So you teach your son how to play basketball. But when you teach other kids basketball, you become a coach. You're not this. It's not the same thing.
Yeah.
These are big jumps.
Yes, they are. Okay. And then you put it on social media, you teaching other kids basketball. You better be pretty good.
Yeah. And the reason I'm saying that, and I think it's important, is it's easy to teach your own son how to play basketball. The kid doesn't know how to play basketball. He won't know if you're right or wrong. So he's just lead him astray the whole time, his whole life, and he just never makes a team. Whereas you teach other kids or coach other kids to play basketball,
and you do it well.
Yeah. Or you don't do it well.
Yeah.
You're going to get some bad feedback.
Yes.
People are going to let you know.
The market will dictate. Yeah. If you're putting it out there. All right. So, but I want to be very clear that there's a reason they're not at that rung. The reason they're not up. Everyone wants to move up this list. If they aren't at the top of the list, forget the very top. They aren't at second from the top. It's because they literally can't do it. Never forget that. So social media wise, because that's the only way to show this to the masses. I can't go on the corner of the park and go, look at me with this aggressive dog. Clients call me. Like, that's not how it works. Social media wise.
So the talkers, are they bad people?
No, they're lazy people in a way. I would love to talk about dog training. I could talk about animal training and dog training all day long. We choose to. We want to talk about positive reinforcement. I can tell you everything about positive reinforcement and operant conditioning and classical conditioning. It's so easy. It's so fun. It's just easy.
But
it's easy to do a reaction video and say how somebody else is doing it wrong. It's so easy.
But you broke the rules because you didn't start off as a talker.
Yeah, but there are talkers.
But you didn't start as a talker.
Well, I didn't start on YouTube till 3 years ago. I'd been doing this for 12 years. But you started
training dogs and you didn't just talk
about it. So I came into YouTube at the 5th rung. And that's just, I didn't do it. I wish I would have started.
How'd you get into YouTube?
15 years ago. You told me to. Okay. So you understand this, right? This isn't rocket science. If the commenters or the pod, if they feel I'm missing something and we're not done, I literally haven't got to the 3rd rung. If I'm missing a motivation, I would love to hear about it. Danger might be the motivation, okay? But I would love to hear it, to be honest with you. All right. So there are people who train their personal dog in their house.
But there aren't any.
And that's good.
There aren't any like big YouTubers that are like really big that are in the bottom rung, right?
No, actually. There's a reason for that.
Okay.
And that's true. There's people out there like that, but there's no one big. That's my point. And not everyone's point is to rise up on social media. but their point is to be useful. They're the least useful. They don't help many people. So I'm not saying they help no people. They don't help many.
So that's a great
or
point.
Many dogs.
So that really the people that are just talkers, they never climb the ranks of, multiple 100,000 subscribers on YouTube, generally speaking. But what about the people that are talkers, but they also train their own dog? Then none of them are like at the top levels of dog training, right?
There is.
No.
I don't want to name names. Okay.
We wouldn't do that, right?
There are people who train their own dog in their house and are widely respected. By the way, okay, I'll name.
What do you mean by respected? Respected by who?
By dog training academics.
By
I
you
guess.
Or no?
I like
certain people.
Yeah, I don't know. I listen. There might be a time to name names. That time is not now. And okay, that's not now. I'm not doing that right now. So the here's a name I will name. Okay. Karen Pryor was a dolphin trainer who wrote a book that I read and I had to learn in school and was super highly respected. And she came in the dog world and started a school. Almost all positive reinforcement dog trainers have this force free dog, have KP, Karen Pryor Clicker CA, Karen Pryor Clicker Academy. She is a dolphin trainer who I have never seen train a dog. Yet she runs a school for dog trainers.
Big bucks.
I don't know why someone who doesn't, I can't see a video of training dogs. I saw one and the dog was jumping and she backed up at a conference and she clicked.
So her personal dog is a dolphin.
I don't know if she has. Yeah, I don't know if she has a personal dog. Why wouldn't she have a personal dog? She wants a dog training school. By the way, I'm not hating on the personal dog people. Okay, if you have your own dog and you can train your own dog in the house, that's actually great. You are better than the talkers. You can train your own dog. That's a big deal. You should not call a dog trainer who cannot train their own dog. Okay.
Is there a hierarchy between talkers and reaction video people?
Yeah, I say reaction video people are at the bottom. Yeah, because they're providing nothing.
Yeah,
right?
They're not even creating content. They're just
yapping. They're poaching other people's stuff. It's the worst, right? I literally there's not no one big does that, right? Yeah. They think it's like a quick thing, but the society is on to you. They get it.
You'd have to be so good and funny to be able to do reaction videos.
Which you could be interesting.
Yeah, then it's almost like the dog training is secondary to whatever.
Yeah, you're not really a dog trainer. Yeah, right? You call yourself one.
You're like Theo Vaughn or something.
Yeah, and if you're that good and you're that funny, then do it. Yeah. All right. Now you got personal. People are like, dude, will you move up the pyramid? All right. Personal dog. I don't think this is bad. Train your dog, put it online, great, but you're not helping that many people, right? That people's dogs at home are not your dog. They're just, it's not the same. The problems aren't the same. Nothing's the same. You don't help many people.
There's fewer number of total problems that are possible with only training one dog. Your dog.
Yeah. All right. Okay. By the way, you see that little thing to the left that says magic? For those 3 rungs, all
3 are there. I thought it was only for the top one.
No, all 3 rungs do not understand the top rung. A dog teaching another dog, like or like correcting another dog, not just teaching by like example, like, oh, when I come, not that way, but like training another dog, it's magic to them. What I do with Prince is literally magic. They don't understand how I do it. They don't understand how I got there. They don't understand. They think it's super dangerous. It's magic. Now,
are you saying
the other people's aggressive dogs people, which is where the high level YouTube people sit, they understand it. I get why they choose not to do it. I get it.
I wonder, and I'm trying to be helpful for people that might just be listening. Maybe they're driving. So you're talking about other people's dogs, people that train other people's dogs. They look at the dog training another dog as magic.
They look at listen, again, Eric came up with that top rung, which I'm happy about. I didn't come up with it. I didn't think about it, but I think that is probably the top. If you can train your dog to train other dogs and to fix other dogs, it's not easy. You have to know everything about everything.
But you're not at the top.
Not everything about everything. You have to know more than any rung underneath you.
But you're not at the top of because there's dog. What is it? Dog teaching another dog, right? There is like the dog fixes dog thing. So you're on the middle to the lower tier within dog helping another dog. Because if Prince was really on top of his game, he could have the dog come in, he could fix it, and you wouldn't even have to go to the facility. That's the highest.
Like let Prince run around society and help dogs.
Like he just does his own thing. Like you don't even need to be there. If you fully replace your.
The problem is it almost doesn't exist. But yeah.
That's our goal though.
Right. To just let Prince loose and have him walk around.
But the dog just shows up,
speak
Prince
English,
lets him know what's cracking, and then moves on.
That's kind of what he does.
I know, but you have to supervise.
Oh, I do have to be there. Yeah. All right. So other people. Okay, let's go to the next one. All right. And I'm not hating on people who train their dogs in the house. You're a dog trainer, like kind of like you have to be able to do that. You have to. And you have to have a dog. So like Karen Pryor, she started a dog training school. I don't know if she owns a dog. I don't know if she's ever trained a dog. What's going on with that? She trained dolphins. I train killer whales. I don't know. I don't know why she's running a school. It doesn't make any sense to me. She's a talker. She's in the bottom rung, yet she owns a school that trains dog trainers. It doesn't make any sense. All right.
Karen Pryor.
All right. So their personal dog. Then you have, I don't know about the bulk, but a lot of YouTube social media dog trainers are dog trainers who train other people's dogs, which is great, including puppies, basic obedience, tricks, and problems. Jumping on the furniture. It's great. It's fine. It's good. It's good. It's needed. Everyone needs basic obedience. Some people like tricks. Puppies always need to get trained. It's great. But you want to get to that next one. And if you're not at that next one, you can't do the next one. There's no other reason.
Leapfrog.
You can't say you can do the next one and not show us you doing the next one. The next one is training other people's aggressive dogs. If you don't train other people's aggressive dogs, it's very simple, people. It's because they can't train other people's aggressive dogs. Because that's where the problems in society lie, is dogs attacking dogs people, dogs attacking children. That's why dogs get put down. That's why dogs get killed by other dogs. That's why kids get bit. So if you got into dog training to help dogs and you don't show us you doing it, it's because you can't do it. It's not rocket science.
Are you saying they just go, I just don't want to? I could do it. I just don't want to.
Why wouldn't they want to? No, it's a good question. And that's what I'm looking for is if anyone has pushback, I would love to hear it. Why? Now, that's actually a good point. It's dangerous. That's a somewhat legitimate argument. I don't want to do it because it's dangerous.
I could quit smoking crack. I just don't want to.
Yeah. Is that similar?
Yeah, same type of idea, right? Is I could do it. I could dunk a basketball. I just don't want to.
I think they do want to. Why wouldn't they want to help more dogs and people and society? They do.
Yeah, you only wouldn't want to train other people's aggressive dogs if you thought you might get bit or hurt, or if you couldn't do it.
That's I don't know another reason why you wouldn't have aggressive dogs. The more aggressive, the more help you are to those dogs. So use your methods, whatever they are, force-free methods to go help aggressive dogs, and you will help society tremendously. But you got to show it.
There's some people, though, that train their personal dog that are YouTubers, and then they say, though, that they can train other people's dogs and other people's aggressive dogs.
There's tons of them.
But they just make it up. They don't actually do it.
No.
But they're basically claiming they're higher on the hierarchy.
They're telling you.
Yeah.
They're telling you that's my point.
Oh, wait, they fell all the way down to talkers again.
You can't talk about the next rung up. The next rung, every rung up is a showing deal. If you're a talker and you want to go next rung, you got to show us training a personal dog, which isn't hard, which makes me really question if you're a reaction video person and you're not showing your own dog being trained. It's literally because you have a bad dog. That's why, because you're going to get rewarded for showing your own dog doing awesome things and walking down the street and not barking. If you train your own dog on the street, there's a reason you're not showing a random dog a client's dog. It's because you can't fix the client's dog's problems, or you would be rewarded. In many ways, you would be rewarded. Even in yourself, you would be rewarded because you're helping society more than the rung down.
And so the top rung, dogs that can teach other dogs.
Yeah. So
how many people can do this?
I don't know.
Princey could do it.
Princey can do it.
Bosco did it.
Bosco did it. Cesar Millan's dog did it.
Cesar Millan.
I think.
What was the dog's name? The
Daddy.
Daddy, right?
And something else.
Yeah.
I mean, but here's the thing. Here's the thing. That's a special thing. I'm not dissing on people that they can't do that in any way, shape, or form. I get that it's scary. I get that it's magic to some people. I get that you don't want the possibility of your dog getting hurt. And I only do that top rung because Bosco showed me he could do it. I would have never thought to do that top part of the pyramid ever if there wasn't this one client in Point Loma that I made a mistake. I let Bosco in the backyard, and over the next 1 minute, I said, Bosco just did something to save this dog that I could have never done. And I'm not saying I then went, boom, boom, we're putting him to work. Blah, blah. I didn't. It took years to get to this point and to keep him safe and to realize when to use a dog and when not to, and when a dog gets corrected. And people are scared of lawsuits. People are scared of they say, you don't know if your dog's not going to bite that other dog. Yeah, you better know. Well, how do you know? How do you know, Joel? I don't know. I just know.
You feel
it's a hard thing. And I'm not dissing on anybody under that for not doing that. It's a freak occurrence that I do that top rung.
So as far as someone like other people's dogs, or let's just say basic obedience or tricks. Well, they actually wouldn't even need another dog because the level of difficulty doesn't require it.
Exactly. Yeah, no, you could. Right. I've trained recall with like training Prince to recall, and then the dog follows, and you can then get a reinforcement in for the dog, and he happened to come because he followed Prince.
Yeah,
there's ways to do it, but really the using a dog
stays,
right, or for just socialization, right? The dog's not going to bite, but he's under socialized. Okay, and trainers do that, and props to them. Anytime you can use your personal dog to do anything, forget Prince correcting a dog, it means you have some good control of your own dog. Your dog, like that's why I was not dissing on their personal trainers who can train their personal dog.
Yeah,
not everyone needs to be up here, but don't let them tell you they're not doing the next rung because they don't want to, or because aggression doesn't exist, or because all these other excuses. They're not doing the next rung because they can't do the next rung. That's it.
Yeah, and there's training your own dog and then training it well, right?
There's but if you're going to put it on video and you're a dog trainer, you kind of have to be training your dog well. You know, if it's on video, like you can't put your... And so you would question why no one would show their own dog.
I think it's
because their dog's not trained.
It's like the John Wood.
Because they can't train a dog, even their own. So guess what? They can't train other people's. So guess what? They can't train other people's aggressive dogs. So guess what? They can't train their own dog to train other people's aggressive dogs. It seems very simple.
Are you laying out the gauntlet for people to poke holes in this and see if we're wrong in any way?
I am curious.
Yeah.
I am curious.
We should... Hey, we're throwing down the gauntlet.
Am I missing something?
I don't think so. I like what you did there. So just so people know, you just like wrote it down on the blackboard here.
I just did it.
The whiteboard or whatever.
Quick.
Took a picture of it.
Yeah, it looks terrible. Bad handwriting. Okay, so then the elite is other people's aggressive dogs. It's dangerous. There's lawsuits. Yeah. I don't know. It's dangerous to play pro football. It's dangerous to be the president. It's dangerous to be CEO of a company. There's risk. There's risk. Yeah. You got to decide what kind of person you are. You're a person that wants to help society and help dogs, then you move up that list. You're a person that's scared. You're a person that that wants to help some, but not. You want to go to the top? There's people who are happy playing high school football, I suppose. But if they can go to the next level, most of them do it.
Usually.
But not everyone wants to put the work in college.
Yeah, that's the main problem.
Put the work in the pros.
In the talent.
I mean, the second to top is the NFL. Right before that's college, right before that's high school. And you don't go up if you can go up, you go up. And if you can't go up, you stop.
So I think Pop Warner is like their own personal dog. And then below that is the people that are just talking about football that haven't played football.
Yeah, and there's people who go, well, I don't like the way you train aggressive dogs. Okay, great.
Show me a better way.
Just show me.
Yeah.
But you got to show it.
I'm with
you. Show me.
I'm with you. I like this,
man.
Man.
Yeah. Well, you got to show.
I like it.
You got to show. Or we're going to assume you can't do it. Because you can't do it. Because you're not showing it. It's not rocket science. So that's my pyramid.
I like it. I think it's hot fire. I think we should try to figure out if we can put that into if you can drop a file. Can you drop a file into the podcast post thing? Maybe
we'll figure it out. If we can do it, we'll do it. So it makes it. But who cares? So it's not written great. Whatever.
Yeah, you're a bit shy about it, huh? No, it's about getting things done. It's about executing,
right? Doing it, and my bad handwriting, whatever.
Nice. So what have you been up to, man?
Nothing. 3 sessions today. 1 Zoom session, 2 other sessions.
So I have a voicemail. Can I play it?
We're just moving on, huh?
Yeah. Well, I mean, it was only 30 minutes.
It was pretty good,
right? Pretty good. 30 minutes, though.
Yeah, there's a lot of time.
I mean, people are starved. They said they want more. They want more time. That last episode was too short.
Oh.
They need more.
No, they said that, huh?
Are you ready?
Yeah. To the comments, the pod comments, or no. Go ahead.
Voicemail.
We have a voicemail.
Ready? Have you heard this voicemail?
I haven't heard. No.
Okay, here we go. Let me turn it up so they can hear it here. Here we go.
On our voicemail line, which is in the description, to call us.
Hey guys, love the podcast. You guys are doing a great job. I think you guys should do a collab with the podcast Tooth and Claw. They're an animal attack podcast. I think you guys would be really funny together. And you guys are doing a great job. Thanks.
Thank you. What's an animal attack podcast?
You've heard about animal attacks.
I want to do an animal attack podcast. So I guess that would be the people to do it with.
That's what they say. They're supposed to be really entertaining.
Can we bring it up or not?
Bring what up?
Tooth and Claw.
Yeah. Do you want to look at it?
I want to see it.
Oh, but I think it's a podcast. It's not video.
They just talk like us?
They're the ones that did the Harambe one. Harambe.
That was a long time ago.
Harambe. We don't know, do we?
You want to hear my opinions on Harambe? Oh, we talked about this 10 years ago and you disagreed with me.
Remember the line?
Bro, I said I've been in the zoo world, right? Probably a bunch of my classmates and people went to my school worked at that zoo. And I said on Facebook like 10 years ago, everybody at the top of that zoo and everyone in operation should have been fired for that. A gorilla died that day because a little kid was able to get into a gorilla, not some genius little kid who was looking to get in. And the freaking zoo didn't have a way to keep a kid out. You have kids, they run around and they run through bushes. Everyone blamed the mom. Like a 4-year-old kid, dude. Like, you know how hard it is to control every aspect of a 4-year-old child every second?
Yeah. Sometimes being a parent is just about being lucky.
And all my zoo people afterwards were like, oh, one student I went to school with, she goes, well, the USDA gave the park, they have to like approve the enclosure.
Yeah.
I'm all, you would give the safety of your guests at your zoo based on a government giving like a clean bill of health to your, like, don't rely on the government.
Do you mind
if you run a zoo to protect your guests?
Do you mind if we go a different direction on this podcast?
I know you get a little crazy. Yeah.
Do you mind if we just go a bit crazy on some of these videos because I want to play you something? No, I mean I just.
Oh, okay. No talking. Here we go. This one sucks. I hate this one
this the one where
so
he bites
much.
him in the
Yeah, he gets
face?
him right in the face, dude. And this guy flips out, and then he just slowly, because there's not much to cheetahs. Look at
Oh,
right in the neck.
jeez.
And this poor cat,
I love cats.
dude. I hate that. Like a gazelle, when there's like 50 of them, is one thing. A freaking cheetah.
Why do we love
So
them more? Like, why do we like
the
cats
people who
more than
think
gazelles?
animals can't like handle stress, like a dog being in any way stressed, like think about animals in Africa. They can't do anything without
They're stressed all the time.
they're stressed, or they're not.
Yeah.
Like they can handle it, but like you can't even drink water without thinking
No.
you're gonna die.
Why are those alligators so green?
Yeah, it's just an algae pool. See that? Look at this. Look at these guys. They're like half handicapped. Can't even do that. All right, move on.
Yeah.
That one's boring.
Okay, let's see what else we got.
Oh, go to the spikes. Oh,
yeah. Go to the spikes here. Ooh.
Oh, what's this guy doing? It's a coyote.
It's a coyote. Why does it say raccoons?
It's killing. Oh,
it's got a snake. What is that?
It's like a squirrel, I think. Why are we watching this? Oh, this guy's trying to tell us, but
yeah, but we don't care what they say.
Oh, and then something.
Oh, it's going after him.
Raccoons. Okay,
raccoons can chase off a coyote. Seems suspect.
Apparently, 2 of them.
Oh, there's 2.
Oh yeah, they're 2 raccoons.
Raccoons
they
so
had the
though?
raccoon baby. All right, a fox against the raccoon. I've seen this one.
Let's go to these spikes. Let's see what else we
That's
got.
a fair fight right there.
Let's see about this one. Oops. Here we go.
Oh, I don't like these. You know why?
What is this one?
So these eagles that they show doing this, these are people's eagles. These are not wild eagles.
So
you can tell by the jesses. It's called jesses. So they have leather straps. You can almost always see that in those situations. Oh yeah,
Is that a badger?
No, it's Wolverine. That thing's.
Is that bad for me to say that?
No,
I thought it was a badger.
These things are awesome.
Do badgers look like Wolverines or no?
Yeah, I mean they're similar. I think they're in the same family. I've seen this. A wolf versus Wolverine. Like this is where I would have said a Wolverine would win. I often forget how badass
that
wolves
wolf's pretty big
are.
too.
Now, no, neither of them wins the fight. No one wins. They're fighting over something. But a Wolverine, you think a wolf, a big dog. Okay, a Wolverine would win. Wolves are so badass. They just are.
I wonder what else is.
Okay, see? No winner. Black bear.
Let's get to some more spikes, though. Let's see what else we got.
I could do this all day. All right,
this is going to be our animal
lizard.
thing. We'll do it for 10 minutes.
Monitor, or probably a Nile monitor is what I'm guessing this is.
That's a leopard, right?
And a leopard. Yeah. Now he's using his tail. He's going to probably kill this guy, but Nile monitors are pretty cool animals.
There are black leopards, right?
Oh, these guys are just fighting. They do this all the time. Yeah. They're just it's a leopard.
What type? Is that a monitor or no?
It's a monitor.
They're
but
just
it's not
each other's faces.
It's just dominant stuff. They won't kill each other. They just wrestle. Look at, and then if he gets taken down, the other one wins. Yeah,
they're grappling.
Yeah, it's total jujitsu. Okay.
Oh, sorry. You want to check anything else or no?
Let's do like one more.
We'll do one more.
Ooh. Cobra versus yeah.
Oh, this bears? One. Bears against wolves? Did I miss it?
I think so, because now we're at a cut. Oh, bear's waking up. Weird looking coyote there.
The beginning. That's a coyote? Oh yeah, of course.
Might be a wolf.
No, it looked pretty scrawny.
Yeah.
Why do wolves have their front legs so close together?
I have no idea. I've never.
It's a differentiation from the dog.
Is this what the Tooth and Claw podcast does?
No. I mean, they don't have audio. They don't have video, I don't think. Look how fast they are, though.
Oh, yeah. They'll kill that coyote.
Who will?
The wolf.
I thought wolves. I thought wolves. I thought coyotes weren't killed often because they're just a nuisance. Well, if he takes the food, he might get killed. But he's fast.
Gone.
But no, I think they're more of a nuisance because I see bears and they'll like run in there and just start eating with the bear, and the bear is like doesn't want to like deal with them.
Yeah, bobcat versus predator. So these videos, it's so pitch black, by the way. So if you ever wonder like what's going on, it's because it's pitch black. They can't even see each other barely. Like look at them looking around. They don't even know where the other one is. Barely. Oh yeah, coyote versus bobcat. That's actually a pretty good fight. You think the bobcat would win, and he probably would, but
any other cool videos that you remember off the top of your head that you want to show? No? Okay.
No. If you're over it, this segment, I'm over it.
Okay, we'll keep rolling. We don't want to. We're probably gonna have to cut it out anyways because we're probably gonna get flagged.
Yeah,
you know? That's what they seem to do to us.
But this is like a montage. Me and my son years ago did an animal draft. I had to drive him far every day for soccer.
What is an animal draft?
So we both drafted a team, and then we would have matchups. So he would say, I'm going to take a bear.
Dungeons and Dragons or something.
It was awesome. Me and my son, he was like 8. And so I laid it all. I told elephants couldn't be on the list. It's kind of like you're going to take, Christian or some guy that just dominates. Mm-hmm. So elephants couldn't be on the list.
They couldn't be on the list?
No, because then nothing can beat them. Mm-hmm. So I think like hippo was maybe second. Rhino might be first. Then, polar bear was up there. Bear was up there. So we'd have a draft of animals. Then we would basically have matchups. I'd go, okay, now he could take his polar bear and I could take my mouse if I just wanted to. Like, did I want to really take polar bear versus grizzly bear?
How did you
know? Or hippo versus, I wrote down all the animals.
But how did you know who wins?
That was a discussion.
It was a battle?
It was a discussion.
Okay.
You know what I'm saying? We had to kind of come to a conclusion of who would have won. So like first, to your point, no elephants, who's first in your fantasy animal badass draft? I'd probably pick a rhino. Besides an elephant, what's beating rhino? Maybe a hippo, but maybe not.
I'm kind of I'll just turn a blind eye to a rhino because I'm like, cats are so cool.
Yeah, but a cat's not beating a rhino.
I don't care. I'll just pretend like rhinos don't exist.
Well, then you lose.
No way.
You lose the freaking fantasy animal thing. My rhino runs through your cat, and you just lost one of your main guys. Now,
what about ligers? 900 pounds.
There's no such thing as a 900-pound cat. There might be one roaming around Siberia in the history. Do you know how big
there is?
A liger is just a tiger lion. Why would it be any bigger?
I saw it yesterday. They would not lie.
A 900-pound cat.
It's a liger.
It's a tiger lion.
And they said that there should be more ligers in existence, but there are not because there used to be an area of habitat where they would go together.
But why are they bigger? They were just big back then?
It's just the world record one.
I don't think there's such thing as a 900-pound cat. That would be insane. That's a saber-toothed tiger.
900-pound liger right there.
Let me see.
You want to see it? Okay, here. Let me just click it.
It's like people exaggerate their dog's weight all the time. 900 pounds. It's not a 900-pound animal.
It's pretty big.
Bring it up.
It's
not 900 pounds. 900 pounds.
That guy weighs 150 pounds. He's the size of his leg.
That's a 500-pound cat.
All right.
900 pounds. Okay, I keep saying.
They said it was the biggest one.
Okay.
What is the heaviest liger? Hercules. Hercules, the 922-pound liger, is the largest cat in the world.
I want to see
now
the
that you
scale.
Have an understanding of the massive.
I want to see the scale.
The heaviest cat,
bro. Okay, we should be done with this or bring it up.
Should we show him?
Yeah.
Okay. Sorry.
So in my animal draft, I'm taking rhino. You're taking hippo, and then we go down from there, right? Polar bear, grizzly bear. I don't know.
Yeah, no, I think you're right.
Do this with your kids if you want to get them off the phone. Get them off the computer, do an animal draft, and then fight and see who wins and have a discussion about it. And call into the podcast and tell us who wins.
We should ask them
with your kids.
Yeah, we should ask them like what type of like things they should send into the voicemail.
Can you imagine if someone sent an animal draft and that'd be awesome.
It'd be fantastic.
But I thought of it already and talked about it, so it's my idea.
So, yeah, the problem with the video stuff is it would just take a lot of planning.
Yeah, we'll try to do it.
Like we like to wing stuff a lot, and it would just be tough to just because we really have to have all the video clips queued up. So we could do it.
We could just do one.
We could do it. We could do one.
You know how big a video is when a dog trainer gets on and just breaks down, like, I saw one that had so many views from someone like Garrett Wing, I think, where he just broke down like the cop shooting of a dog. Like 500,000 views. Or a dog fight. And people ask for it all the time.
I've seen some of his, actually. They're pretty good. Some of his breakdowns are like just
I just break down my own video.
Dog stuff that he brings up. And then he just smart, but they get good views and stuff.
They get good views. And it's easy.
But the reason is because it's interesting.
I know. That's what I'm saying.
No,
the pod could be the place for that.
Yeah, I think it would be great. Yeah, we'll I think you're right. Let's start with like 1 or 2 videos, like figure something out, prep them beforehand, and then you can give your like expert opinion. But we should do some canine stuff.
Yeah, dog stuff.
Yeah. But I mean, even like not necessarily dog, we could do like wolves and coyotes and stuff.
Sure.
Too. Right?
Yeah.
I mean, you're not a coyote trainer.
I've trained one, but yeah.
You trained one?
Yeah, at my school. They had 2.
You trained it?
Trained it some.
What'd you teach it to do?
Oh, okay. I didn't teach it to like do tricks or anything, but like if you're like interacting with it, you're like training.
That's considered training.
Yeah. I mean, you're always training a wild animal to be calm. There's
like the
no
Holy Grail.
time. No, it's not the Holy Grail. It's kind of the minimum. Like, but you're training.
You're basically training not to attack you, right?
If you're walking a wild animal, you're training that wild animal.
Yeah. So like if I were to work
feeding them, you're training them.
If I adopt a tiger, or let's not even say, let's say
you never train a trick.
A
you're
mountain,
training it.
like a mountain lion. Right?
I walked a mountain lion.
I get a baby mountain lion and keep it in my house.
You'd be fine.
If I did that, I would be training it every day because I'm training it not to bite me.
That's right. I just had a client call and he goes, "How much do you train the dogs?" And I'm like, every time they're playing, which is all day.
Yeah.
Like, and he was like baffled. And I'm like, bro, I don't know how to explain this to you, bro.
Yeah.
Like, I mean, not just playing, we're training, but like we're doing recalls during play. We're not letting it get too rough. Like, I don't mean to use that word loosely. I mean, there's more to it, but it's then we go on walks for this long. We do basic obedience for this long. We do recall for this long, but like, it's all training. It's always training.
Training's a loose word.
It is in this sense. It's certainly, I'm using it loosely.
Yeah. So you don't believe my 922 pounds?
I personally don't, but it's the same reason. Peregrine falcons dive 100 miles per hour. That's Google it. I don't believe they do.
Yeah. Do you know that a hyena can bite through an elephant's femur?
Well, he said that, and I said no, they can't. But then you texted me a thing that says like over time. I was literally thinking you meant bite through.
You thought I was going to run up on the elephant, bite its femur, snap it in half, and he would fall on the ground.
I could bite through an elephant's femur given enough time.
Are you sure?
How long am I going to live? How more long am I going to live?
All the force-free people are going to be like, this guy thinks he can bite through an elephant femur.
My point is, I thought you meant like a couple bites. You meant over time, a bite through an elephant's femur.
I was just totally hearing something that I heard and just throwing it out there in the ether.
And I SHIT.
Yeah. You ruined it. You ruined it.
I get caught up in like the semantics of things, I think.
Yeah. You've been on a good one the last couple of weeks, huh?
Have I?
I think a little bit.
Well, fired up.
A little bit like Alex Jones-ish. Not to say you're like Alex Jones in any way, but you have the ability to kind of go off on a rant.
Yeah. I think I have opinions.
Yeah.
Of things I know about, and I know about animals, and there's a little bit of like something that everyone says, and that I'll see it as is there something that's way more clear to me, and then once I say it, I think people go, "Oh yeah, that's true." But they didn't see it.
Didn't I send you? I don't know if you saw it. I sent you a video about. I think it was a dog. It was a Doberman Pinscher going at a Savannah, I think, or a Serval cat.
Yeah, I saw that.
You saw that?
Yeah.
And I would so get a Serval or a Savannah. They're so awesome.
I know.
They're just huge.
I would too.
Just seeing it, yeah, I could just see one in your house.
Just so you know, that's a miniature Doberman Pinscher.
Yeah, but he's aggressive still.
Just saying that when I first saw that, I was like, that's the biggest cat in the world. But it's just a normal serval.
But they're still huge.
Yeah.
See if you guys can see that. So for those
that's a miniature Doberman. That's a min pin. And I thought when I first saw it, I go, that is a giant serval.
Dude, that thing's going psycho.
He's gonna smack that dog in the face.
You know what it reminded me of when I sent it to you? It was like Prince is like he just doesn't care. He's like looking and he's just like
Prince, like the serval, you mean?
Yeah, he just doesn't care that the dog's trying to bite him, and he tries to go at his face and he like moves his head barely. Like he's so unconcerned. Look at him.
Well, I saw this thing on cat reaction times and it's like insane.
Ridiculous.
Like he's not even worried.
Yeah, it's like somebody,
especially a serval, they like jump and catch birds like 9 feet up. Like they're so fast.
It's like a 100-year-old drunk uncle coming at you, and you
don't want it.
You just move out of the way. You're just like too fast reaction time. Like what do they say? Reflexes of a cat and the speed of a mongoose kind of thing.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah. Didn't Napoleon Dynamite say that?
I know it from a rap song. I know we went to a couple episodes we talked about rap songs that went over quite well, surprisingly.
Yeah, people did like the old school rap talk.
Yeah. So anyway, I have a question for you.
Okay.
Is there any breed of the weeks that you would want to do?
You think you're whiffing on the breed of the week? No.
I went through them and I'm like, we haven't talked about them, but we've talked about these dogs on there, and I'm going, these are not. You know what I'd rather talk about for breed of the week?
What?
More about those dogs that are like the Mexico dogs that are just
cruising.
Yeah, they start to look like each other, like you said. Those to me seem more interesting.
Shouldn't we not get away from breed of the week and just pick a breed?
Well, what would you be? What would you pick?
I don't know. My mind
I want to go to like Chihuahua or like a Shih Tzu or something, but I don't even really care about those.
Yeah, dogs. We're running out of interesting dogs because dogs are kind of dogs. Like there's different working group and there's different ones, but they're animals.
The breeds are still a subbreed. So like these Bernese Mountain Dogs or whatever are basically like a variation, or there's just other breeds that are so similar that although the people that own them don't believe.
What's more interesting is like where they're from and what they're for, more than like, okay, let me think. We did Ridgebacks, we've done German Shepherds, we've done all the
but there's no dog. So check this out. There's no dog that is like a hybrid, like a Savannah, other than a wolf, maybe like a wolf shepherd mix, maybe. Because if you think about so the Asian leopard cat gets mated to have a Bengal, or a African serval basically mates with a house cat essentially, and has a Savannah. So, but the difference is these are not just breeds; they're hybrids. They can't be mistaken for another random cat, right? They're huge and they're wild and they're psycho. So I guess it would be more similar to somebody breeding it with a wolf, right?
Someone breeding a dog with a wolf?
Yeah.
Yeah, that would be like your Savannah example.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Because there's no other breed that's as crazy as that, I don't think.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah, it's like we're comparing tabbies to non-tabby cats.
Yeah, I mean,
like there's not that they're all cats.
Yeah, that's like what you're saying.
But there's more diversity in dogs.
Yeah.
Obviously.
But I mean, you look at there's what are some of there's like, as far as I can't even remember, but there's like Siamese, and there are genuine like they look different.
Yeah.
But then you could take all the weird, except for what's that big huge one?
Cat?
Yeah. The big
they hunt coon cat. Maine coon cat.
Maine coon?
Yeah.
Yeah. Those things are huge. So that's the only one that you could say it almost doesn't look like it belongs in the family.
Yeah.
That's like the one. But there's nothing like that with dogs. So what are the canine species? I don't know anything about this. So there's dogs, there's coyotes, there's wolves,
there's
dingoes.
Dingoes aren't in there. I'll tell you why in a minute. There's jackals, and there's painted dogs, and there's New Guinea singing dogs.
Is that it?
I think that's it.
Was there ever like a big, huge dog that went extinct?
Didn't they say dire wolves were a thing? Like from Game of Thrones? I think that they were alive.
You worry me when your source is the Game of Thrones or Game.
Yeah, I know. Well, I watched Game of Thrones and I was like, direwolves aren't a thing. And then I heard like they were a thing. There were giant wolves during.
We're about to find out. Direwolf.
See?
Oh, that would be so cool.
Is an extinct canine. See? Look how big the dire
sucks.
I don't know how big they are. So I just named all the dogs. Do you like that? You like my New Guinea singing dogs one?
Would you what wild animals would you own if there was no law against it?
Do I have children?
For strictly canines.
Am I what and do I have children? No, I don't have children. Single Joel, right? Single young Joel. Yeah. Okay. Single young Joel would own, God, I can't even take my kids out of it. Like the safety of them is just in my head. But
so you don't want to just have wolves just
I would
running around the house.
It's hard to think 20 years ago, but 20 years ago, Joel would have a lot of animals. I'd just be with a lion. I'd have a lion. Okay, wolves, I would have, or not dogs, I would have 20 years ago. I don't think I'd want a wolf because they're like, I've seen them. I'd get like an African painted dog, like one of those guys.
So,
but they're going to be wild. And
this dire wolf you're speaking of. Listen to this. It says an extinct canine. It's North American prehistoric carnivore that was a competitor to the extinct Smilodon saber-toothed tiger.
Oh,
if it's a competitor to the saber-toothed tiger, it must have been.
Well, the saber-toothed tiger, those teeth, I don't know that they existed, to be honest with you. They say they did, but those teeth it was a sexual selection thing. Those big teeth that come down was for sexual selection, not for killing.
Just sexual girls at the bar, right?
That's right. It was to get the chicks to pass on the genes, which is the goal. And it's probably
like birds and colors, right?
Yeah, it's like peacock and the tail, right? The big peacock gets the chicks. He also got the biggest tail, which doesn't make him as fast, which makes the coyote get him. But
it's all about values, right? They all have their own value system. So it doesn't matter if it necessarily moves the species forward. It's all about what the value
there's
system
no such
is.
thing as survival of the species. Or like an individual caring about survival of the species.
Yeah, they do whatever
they care about their own genes being passed on, which then survival of the species happens.
Yeah, like if everybody...
no animal actually cares about the species.
As a whole. Yeah.
Yeah.
Right, that makes sense.
So sexual selection is why, everything out there is about sexual selection, not getting killed or killing things or eating. That's all that matters.
See, they have DNA evidence of these dire wolves that you're speaking of.
It's not
that big though. It's still pretty big though.
It's big. It's a big wolf.
38 wolves today have the largest northern wolves today have a...
That's a normal wolf.
Yeah.
I think.
No, I think so.
They're not that big. They're not that great. Nothing back, like you think dinosaurs are that big. Like they were big, but
I think they're huge, right?
So, but everything gets exaggerated.
Yeah. You know what's the worst is when they start talking about the size in millimeters. I'm like, what is this about?
Yeah.
We should have the folks from Germany or something come in and be like, can you help us with this?
Our German audience.
Yeah. They would know.
Quite large.
They would know. Yeah, no, it's very interesting. I wonder if they were pack animals.
All dogs are? Pretty much. It's hard. Dogs aren't the greatest killers.
So jackals and stuff, they are all...
Jackals are a little not. Coyotes are what's called fission fusion, I believe, where they're in and out. Fission.
Yeah.
I don't know what fission means, but I assume it's the opposite of fusion.
Yeah, I think that's exactly right.
Yeah.
I could be wrong, but...
Yeah, wolves. And all animals...
from fuse, right?
Fission.
And fission is like to not
a fissure.
Yeah.
But all animals separate when they have babies. Generally, they go off.
As far as what I remember, the phenomenon of nuclear fission have one unique point in common: the atom.
Dude, did I just make up the animal fission thing?
As its name suggests, consists of a division of a heavy atom into two light atoms.
Will you Google fission fusion animals and see if I just made that up? That is an animal term as well. I believe I've heard it used in animal.
In many group living species, integrated movement decisions made by individual scale up to the group motion. Group merge, fusion,
Split.
or split.
Yeah.
So group merge. So I was right. So if fusion is it fuses, it comes together. Split fission.
I just didn't know if it's an animal thing.
And it is. Some people that like have a background in biology, they probably watch the show like, what the hell? These guys don't know anything.
Dude, biology.
So did you give us a breed of the week? I already forgot.
No.
Let's do one.
Okay.
Have you but you have to have trained it. So how about a Shih Tzu? Or a have you ever trained a Chihuahua?
Yeah, but not many.
Were you effective in training them? Let's do Chihuahua. Breed of the week, Chihuahua.
Chihuahua?
Yeah.
They're cool.
From Mexico, no?
Yeah, Chihuahua is a region in Mexico.
Yeah.
Yeah, they're cool. You know that. You've probably been there. Chihuahua?
Have you ever heard of a rat terrier?
Yeah.
I think my friend had
rat
a rat
terrier. Is
terrier.
like a
looks like a Chihuahua a bit, right? It's got big ears and stuff.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Chihuahuas are they're fine. They're cool little dogs. I always feel bad for them. Like,
because they're so small.
And I always offend my clients that have them. Like, they bring their Chihuahua out, and I'm like, I always go to the pasture.
Yeah.
Right? That grassy area we call the pasture. Always. I want the dog to poop. I want the dog to smell. I want to set the dog up for success. I don't want to bring a dog out if the dog's scared of dogs or aggressive or whatever.
Mm-hmm.
And I bring the Chihuahuas down there. Sometimes it's cold where I live, but even not cold. And I go, put him down on the ground, and the dog, and he's just like, what? It's like, they're like, I'm going to be killed at any moment by an owl or a coyote or this guy. And they're just like all scared.
But even imagine
they're like
Prince.
Oh yeah.
Like
that's a whole nother level
on him, and he looks like Tyrannosaurus Rex rolling up on him.
Totally.
I don't know if I agree with the breeding of these really tiny dogs. Don't they have smaller dogs too that are like lap dogs, like Paris Hilton type dogs?
Like almost you can get like these little Chihuahuas, and then when they're puppies, they're like that big. But I just feel bad for them. They fully know they're a prey animal. And so when people talk about like fear, aggression, like Chihuahuas are a good example of that.
I just
everything's
the smallest dog is.
People bring out like a freaking Dogo Argentino, and they're like, oh, he's aggressive, oh, he's scared. Like, he's not. There are fearful ones. Don't get me wrong, right? How they're raised and whatnot.
Yeah.
But like a Chihuahua's scared. Dogo Argentino, when he's aggressive, is generally not fear.
Yeah, I mean, I just think there's a certain minimum dog level size that really, I feel like you're putting it at disadvantage when you make it too small.
It's a Yorkie, dude.
I know. I typed what
They're
is
all
the smallest
Yorkies.
Dog breed. It says Chihuahua, and then there's just these dogs that are not Chihuahuas.
Oh yeah, Yorkies are small. My
Club.
family wants a Yorkie.
That's never going to happen.
That's what I told my son last night. He goes, Prince is too big. I want a little dog. And I'm like, no.
Remember who
we
said
have
that?
two cats.
Your youngest?
Cruz, I think.
Yeah, remember
my middle one.
Remember last podcast, weren't we talking about that? About like things that you're not going to let your family do.
Oh yeah. I have no problem saying no.
Yeah, there's no way. Well, oh yeah, I was going to tell you this. So my daughter is obsessed with birds.
I know.
And she wants a bird, and I keep telling her, I was like, it is not going to happen. We're not
could
getting
get her
a bird. I mean, if I had felt
you could get her like a parakeet. Like, don't get a African gray.
She wants like a $4,000 bird.
What bird?
I don't know.
I like birds.
It's an exotic bird. So here's the funny thing. So she watches these.
I'll tell you if you should get it.
I
want a toucan. I want a lot of birds. I want a kookaburra.
Do you know what a kookaburra is? The like Australian.
Oh, they're the best.
They have the silver coins I used to buy, and they have a kookaburra on it.
Mm-hmm.
It's pretty cool.
You can feed them. They'll eat fish. They'll eat snakes. They'll eat lizards. They're awesome. They're killers, and they make cool noises. Like every old school movie that was filmed in Africa, they use a kookaburra sound, which is an Australian bird, but they still use it in every jungle movie. I can't do it, but I worked with one, and you could make that noise, and it would just do it.
Yeah,
it's awesome.
There's some store up north here, and it's got like exotic birds.
Oh,
so
really?
She'll go down there, and or up there, whatever. She'll hang out with all the birds, but she's really into birds. So then I was saying, oh, you'll have to get on the podcast and talk about birds.
What'd she say?
And then she said, I'll go on the podcast and talk about birds. And I said, you don't know enough about them.
Oh,
and she said, she's like, I probably spent 30 hours on it. I said, spend $1,000 and we'll get you on the podcast.
Yeah.
I was like, because I said,
you're hardcore.
She goes, I know a lot about birds. And I said, okay, how long does an owl live? And she says, I don't know about owls. She's like,
That's fair.
She's like, I don't
if you don't like owls.
She wants exotic ownable birds.
Ownable birds, yeah.
So she's not into. So then I asked her about eagles. She's like, no, I don't deal with eagles. I wanted one that I can own.
That's all I deal with.
Yeah, you like the
killers.
You like.
I don't care about.
You're scaring the force free folks talking like that.
Oh yeah, they don't like that.
No, say killers.
Roadrunners, awesome birds.
You know what's funny about a roadrunner is like if you've never ever seen a roadrunner,
it's awesome.
When you see one, you're like, oh, that's a roadrunner.
Yeah,
Yeah,
they're cruising around. They're all tall. They kill snakes.
I mean, and
coyotes.
I never saw a roadrunner, and then I saw one.
Acme weights on their head.
I was like, that's a road. Like I saw one. I was like, that is a roadrunner right there, 100%.
Yeah,
it was just running across the road. It was hence the name, right? And then roadrunner was what was that? Its name on what was that?
Yeah, it was the Roadrunner.
That's the same one that had like was it Porky Pig? What was the Warner Brothers, right? That was the one that had Bugs Bunny.
Warner Brothers, yeah. You want to know my dog training example from Warner Brothers cartoons?
Yeah.
I wrote this in the comments on my last video.
Huh.
Pepe Le Pew. Who remembers Pepe Le Pew? Do you?
Yeah, he's the skunk, right?
Yeah. So the go-get method, you are Pepe Le Pew. You do not chase your dog. The female cat would get the paint on her back. Pepe Le Pew thought she was a skunk, and she was fast. And she'd go, zoom. Yeah. And then Pepe Le Pew would just go, doing, doing, doing. And he always caught her.
Just
slow and steady. That's go-get method. When I talked about it, you just walk. And then the dog goes this way. You go this way. Dog goes this way. You take them. You bring them back. And you do it again.
It sounds
There's
like
no
magic.
Chasing of dogs.
It sounds like Bugs Bunny when he is about to get blown up or something. And then who is it? Elmer Fudd?
It's Pepe Le Pew.
Then Elmer Fudd rolls in there and he's about to blow him up or something. And then Bugs Bunny, right as he's about to blow him up, Bugs Bunny's like sitting there next to him, like looking at him, like, what are we doing here?
Yeah, but that's not it.
No,
that's a whole different example.
That's magic.
My Pepe Le Pew example is the perfect one.
I never really liked that Pepe Le Pew guy.
Yeah, the whole
French guy, right?
And
no
it was like
to our French followers here. We don't have a lot of French followers, do we? Do we
don't
scare them away?
Yeah, they don't like us for a variety of reasons. And there was a bit of
French bashing. Did you do French bashing?
No. Pepe Le Pew's a little
inappropriate. Yeah.
That guy was.
He was trying to like pull women and stuff, right?
He was doing more than pulling women. It was
inappropriate.
He was not a good guy in many ways.
Yeah, no, that's fair.
You know what I'm saying? No, I don't think they probably show that show anymore. There's no way.
What do you think?
There's
about that?
no way you can find Pepe Le Pew.
There's so many things that you just can't really say now that you used to be able to say.
Oh yeah, imagine like what we grew up on, like Looney Tunes, like the violence.
Yeah, and there's just different references just that you're just not allowed to say.
Oh yeah,
even if they were totally normal and no one was offended. Now there's other things that people are offended by.
Yeah,
it's
enough not saying offensive stuff.
One thing that was funny, and I know we had just passed.
The offended people are the most boring people in the world. If you get offended all the time, do you want to ever be around a human being like that? They're not fun.
But remember, so a week ago or so, there was Monday was Columbus Day, right?
Mm-hmm.
And I'm not getting into the Columbus. Is it, Columbus Day? Is it American or is it Indigenous Peoples Day or whatever? Yeah. But I love Native American documentaries. So I just watch them all the time. So I turned one on and they were getting into Columbus. It was so bad. Like the stuff they were saying that was going on was so bad. Just plundering. And I'm really? This is kind of bad. And I'm not trying to make a claim one way or another, but
it is. Yeah, it's not good.
I don't think the documentary was being harsh on the guy. I just think
it was true. It
just seemed like Columbus and his ilk were going a little hard in the paint. It just what it seemed like nowadays, So I think there's
so hard.
I think we're trying to rectify with the past, like, was this a good dude? Was he not a good dude?
Yeah.
And then even what's kind of weird about it is a lot of Europeans came from that, first wave of people coming across, right? They wouldn't have come across if somebody didn't show up, right? So if you're a European in America, it's like you might not be here if it wasn't for Christopher Columbus.
Yeah.
Maybe no one would be here.
Native Americans would be here.
Yeah, I mean, obviously.
Yeah.
Yeah, a good point. Good point.
Yeah. No, past, there's a lot of shady stuff going on.
Yeah.
2,000 years ago and 300 years ago.
Yeah.
That we wouldn't do today.
No, that's for sure.
So
I think there's like a element of thought that you have to judge. You have to judge that time frame in the time frame.
You think?
I'm not saying, but there's some things that like you're like, that's just clearly wrong, right?
All of it's clearly wrong, but it was still what everyone did.
Yeah, but if it was like slavery, like it's clearly wrong, obviously now, and it also is obvious probably back then. Don't you think?
Yeah.
Because you would have been like, I don't want to be a slave, right?
Yeah.
So it would be a bit, where some of the other stuff I think is like the way you call someone a certain name or something. Like, remember we were talking about the Aborigine thing? And they're like, you can't say Aborigine or Aboriginal or Aborigine.
I don't know.
But we were educated by our friends in Australia. And whatever that was, that's something where
we weren't educated by anyone.
You were taught a certain way of this is what they are.
Yeah.
And then later they're like, you can't say that anymore.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah, we can say it. We just said it.
Yeah. But it's so anyways, there's
I'm over the whole like you can't say that and like us buying into it on the podcast.
You just want to be free.
People have to say stuff.
True.
Like there are people in society, there are comedians who are like, we're not doing this. Like we're not buying. Oh, you're right.
Some of them get chewed up and spit out for saying this type of stuff.
No, and some of them say, I'm not playing this game. Dave Chappelle says, I'm not playing this game that you all are playing.
And they try to cancel him
and they try.
They can.
And then some people, he might save the world, Dave Chappelle.
You like Dave Chappelle?
Of course. Have you ever seen Sticks and Stones?
Was that the one in Michigan?
It was like the middle one of his documentaries. It's the most genius stand-up comedy routine ever.
What was it basically about? Because I've seen a few of them, so I don't remember. Like,
what
was the theme of it? Do you remember?
The joke about the Second Amendment is one of the most genius jokes ever. I'm not going to do his material.
But what did he say about the Second Amendment?
I can't. You have to see it. I'm not afraid to say it. You have to see him do it.
Okay.
The first joke too is pretty funny. I can do this one. I could do the other one, but there's so much nuance to it.
Yeah.
The Second Amendment one, there's actual nuance that like it doesn't even make sense if I do it. But the first one, he's like talking about like people killing themselves. And then he's like, I don't get it. Or he goes, Anthony Bourdain. Now I'm going to do his material because the joke is not as nuanced. He goes, Anthony Bourdain, like this mother effer we traveled around the world and ate food and he killed himself. And he goes, but some people don't. He's like, I went to school with this guy. He was a lawyer, got married, his high school sweetheart. She divorced him. He goes, I went home. I went to the mall, I went to Foot Locker, and there he was. And I thought, now have you ever thought about killing yourself to the guy? It's kind of, why isn't that an option for that guy? I did not do that well.
Yeah, I haven't. I imagine
I shouldn't have even attempted.
He has a special,
bro.
I know, but
why'd you make me attempt it?
You could always cut it out in post-production, but I imagine that I imagine I've seen everything that he's done, but there was one where he got into the transsexual movement stuff, and he talks about like a vehicle, and there's like different like elements of it.
I know.
And that one I was watching, and then he it's all leading up to this like one punchline at the end. And he went there, and I was like,
I know.
Nobody would ever go where he went.
Nope.
Like it was the darkest thing I ever saw. And he just drops it.
Yeah.
I wasn't even ready for it.
I know.
But that's what makes him a genius, right?
Listen. Yeah, you know this. I mean, you gotta.
Yeah, the guy's.
You want. I mean,
Most people would say he's the GOAT. I'd say.
Yeah.
And
I would
if
agree.
not, he's on the Rushmore. I don't
Oh,
imagine
for sure, the Rushmore.
I mean, there's some older folks, maybe like
people say
Richard
like
Pryor
and Eddie Murphy. Like we were young. You want the Rushmore of comedy now? I know we have different opinions. I think it's Louis C.K. I think it's Chris Rock based on like his first special or his first two specials, and then Dave Chappelle, and then I don't know who the third would be.
I think I told you on this podcast I saw Chris Rock in New York.
Oh, live?
In a small venue. He was a surprise.
Bro, you know who? Sorry, I don't mean to cut you off. That's awesome.
That was it.
I saw in 2000, I was at my animal school and I went to the last factory of the Comedy Store in LA. And this was right now. People can hate on this if they want. I saw Dane Cook before he got big. It was the funniest thing I've ever seen. People hate on Dane Cook. He was so funny. And then he got big. He decided to be in movies and people started hating on him. But I thought he was funny.
People loved him too much. And if people love you too much, you'll get the backlash.
That's what I just told my kids. They were talking about somebody. And I'm like, yeah, they're going to build him up and then they're going to destroy him. And not intentionally. There has to be that fall.
Yeah. They require
you be careful what you ask for.
Americans eat their own. You know what I mean? It's part of the life cycle.
Yeah.
It's like, we're going to make you really big and then we're going to devour your flesh. Right?
Yeah. Me and my wife talked about like this so-and-so got a show and then they got divorced, or like, we'll see somebody success. And it's like, oh, this actor divorced this actor. And my wife will be sometimes, or she used to be like, oh, that's surprising. I'm like, what?
It's not surprising. Yeah. No,
that's the most unsurprising thing I've ever seen in my life, actually.
Yeah.
Like, you want fame and fortune? Yeah. Be careful.
Fame is a weird thing.
It's a weird thing. It's like heroin.
Do you get sucked into that with your channel?
So I have a weird life. I've been moderately tiny. Not fame is not the word. I've had notoriety. A level of the killer whale thing was at a time like this weird celebrity thing. Even the animal school thing, this very hard school to get into, within a certain small segment, it was this very cool thing. Then the killer whale thing happened. Then the YouTube thing happened, and you get recognized. And
you're 3 for 3, dude.
It's like, yeah, it's a weird thing.
You're 3 for 3 now.
Yeah, the animal school is not really there, but the killer whale thing, especially in Orlando, was a thing.
How about San Diego?
Like you could have like groupies, kind of like there were like kind of whale groupies.
This is a family show.
I know, and not groupie. Like to have a groupie doesn't
groupies?
Like girls about who want to talk to you.
And so, can you tell us what happened?
There would be people at the stadium sometimes,
like waiting for you, like in your
they would come a lot. But they could, I never met them. I never met them out. Like nothing ever happened, but they're there. There is a thing.
Does Liz know about this?
Yeah, she worked. Although San Diego, there's less level of because there's more to do in San Diego. Orlando's this weird little town. Orlando's weird.
You guys are the only show in town out there. Right?
You're like moderately a celebrity. But anyway, my life has been sort of just a little bit of like
flashes of fame.
Notoriety. So it's like not like it's not that exciting.
It's like flashes of fame.
Yeah, like if you were to get recognized tomorrow, it's actually cool when I get recognized too, but I think it'd be a bigger deal, you know?
Yeah. I just think
which only makes sense.
I think if something like that happened, I would go. I'd tell my wife and then I'd tell you. And that'd be it.
Yeah,
and that would just be.
But it'd be cool. Yeah, maybe it wouldn't
be like
being
on TV when you're a kid. You know, you're like, oh,
I want to make more money. I don't want to be more famous.
Yeah,
I literally don't want to be famous.
Yeah, which is not good for
Dog Daddy. I do not want that guy's life in any way.
Yeah,
it's freaking. There's potholes. No, there's what's that term? Like it's tough.
Yeah, he also travels like a maniac. His whole life is basically traveling around. He's got all kinds of heat he's getting currently.
That's different.
He's very recognizable now, or more recognizable.
Yeah.
Caesar was also very, very, or pretty famous, and people also that comes with all that negativity
10 times
too.
Famous of Dog Daddy. Caesar Milan was in a South Park episode. Yeah, he was next level.
That's next level. Is that the goal? get you on South Park?
It would be cool to be on South Park, but I'm not even a big South Park fan. But
I like what they do. I just never got into the show.
Yeah, me too.
But like someone would show me, like, have you seen this? And I was like,
I did see some. Like my kids showed me the Cesar Millan one. I was like, this is funny.
Let me do you a favor. Like, so, I'll do a bad joke, for you, since you just did one with, was it?
That was kind of funny.
No, yours was right. Good. You didn't. It was all right. But like, what was the? I'm trying to think of. Oh, it was the South Park episode where Obama was elected, and they were like partying in the streets, and people just forward this stuff, and I was like, oh, this is cool. And so they start playing that "Celebrate Good Times" song,
Mm-hmm.
and so they're playing it and they're just tearing everything up. And then the cop was like, what are you guys doing? They're like, Obama's the president. We could do whatever we want now. Right. It was just like funny. Right.
Yeah.
I didn't like tear the roof down with that, but either way, I'd get things, I'd see it, and I'm like, oh, that's funny. Like, I should watch the show more. I just never do.
No, me either.
I wouldn't even know how to watch it, really. I'm sure
it's on a lot, I think.
I mean, I'm sure you can go on YouTube and see probably
You're
all that
40,
stuff.
dude. So no.
I'm
South
over
Park.
40.
Yeah. It's not South Park.
There's even TV, and we could end on this too, but even TV, like, I mean, okay, what do we have in common?
You and me?
Yeah, we have
a podcast,
day jobs, we have businesses, right?
Yeah.
We have wives.
Yeah.
We've got 3 kids.
Yeah.
We've got pets.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
We have all this stuff going on, and we're going to be like, okay, I'm going to go watch 75 episodes of South Park.
Or even 2.
Or 1. Yeah. I mean, or anything. Or even like when I want to watch a series, I'm like, is this something I really want to be doing with my time right now?
Yeah. Me and my wife are watching Succession on HBO right now. It's awesome.
Okay. I've heard that twice now that's a good show.
You have?
Yeah.
You should watch it.
Yeah. This guy, his name is Wes, told me this.
I know Wes.
Yeah. So, yeah. It's good, right? And you want to kick this off with any dog training before we go, or?
We've had dog training throughout.
Yeah, well, you kicked it off hard with the dog
pyramid.
The dog pyramid, dog training pyramid.
I think that was awesome.
You loved it.
I loved it.
I thought it was good.
I thought it was pretty clear.
Yeah.
I don't know if it's refutable.
I thought shots fired is what I thought about it.
Shots fired.
A bit.
Shots fired.
So no, that's good, man.
But listen, shots get fired, and it's fact. You just got to take the L.
Yeah, don't come at me.
These people, the shot, you got to take the L sometimes. Like, that's life.
Yeah. Truth can hurt, right?
I was going to say something about that, and I don't want to talk much longer, and this is the end of the podcast, so we got to make this a real thing. Like, there's a reason to, like, be dominant, like, over your dog. Like, your dog go, like, oh, okay, that guy's the boss. There's a reason for that. Then I was thinking about, there's a reason for everybody to have something that's above them. It is not, like, my point is, like, if you take an L, right, it hurts. Oh, God, he's right about that. Like, I can't move to that next level because I don't know how. Like, that sucks to hear. Like, I've told people, like, I can do that, but I don't show them. And God, he's probably right. If they it's good.
Yeah.
It's good for the humility of your soul, right? It's good to think that there's something more powerful than you and not feel omnipotent.
Brings humility, right?
It brings humility.
Yeah, you're right.
And sometimes,
but there's no one on top of the pyramid above you, though.
But that's dog training.
Okay, so you are the god of dog training, is what you're saying.
No, there's better dog trainers than me.
For too long,
you constructed that pyramid with that last thing at the top that made me
the top.
The top. We could make another pyramid
marketer, though.
That's like, my God, sheer numbers of, what if you added up all the dogs helped on a video? That's a legitimate statistic. That is over time. That is sheer numbers of dogs.
Who has that? Who's
probably
the goat?
Caesar? You want to talk about the guy I mentioned that he doesn't want me to say his name. He has been doing it so long.
Who, John?
I can't say his name. He's got more articles out there. I know how smart he's the smartest dog trainer I've ever seen. Like, and trains tons of dogs. Like, that matters.
Drop his name in the comments, guys. Okay.
They don't know who he is.
Only I know.
They know of him. People know him. They ask me, "Hey, what about this guy?" And they'll mention him.
But I told him how to find him if they care.
Yeah, but he doesn't want, and I respect the guy, and he was nice about it.
He probably just has a busy life, and he's done his thing, and he's like, I don't want any drama.
I think it's because this video I did, he didn't
agree with it.
Yeah,
he thought you were wrong.
He thought I was wrong. Not about a dog training video.
Oh, just a non-dog training video.
Yeah, it was about dog trainers.
Oh, dog trainers.
And he
probably thought Caesar wasn't the GOAT. He probably didn't like that he wasn't number one.
I don't know why else he'd
That'd be funny if somebody did like a GOAT thing and they throw you on GOAT as like your number. What if 3, I got
and I'm like all mad,
and then they're like, "Oh, you're the third greatest in the world." And like, never mention my name again. You put me as number 2 or 3.
That's kind of what it's like.
That's absurd.
He's an interesting guy.
Is it okay if I just write his name down like on the next one and just like hold it up?
Sure.
People know what it is.
Listen, if
I rub my eyebrow,
for all the pod, if Tom Brady called me and was like, "Hey, don't mention," I'd be like, "Cool."
Yeah,
he's not Tom Brady, but
no, that's good. All right,
that's it.
Anything else?
No.
All right.
Bye,
See you guys.